Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with the third puzzle that was submitted by Shing Gaming called Magic 159. I actually put this one off until the last one, and I'm full of regrets on that one at the moment because I'm actually on migraine medication. I had a massive migraine, and the medication, I'm still feeling the effects of it. This is prescription medication. Do not do. I've never done and highly recommend that people don't do recreational drugs that are pharmaceutical grade. Alcohol is another discussion, and alcohol is absolutely a drug that affects you negatively, and I think should be more controlled than it is. But while it's not, that's not my call to make. There are other drugs that are controlled, I think shouldn't be, but that's a completely different discussion, and I'm not wanting to get into political here. But I am on very strong painkillers, and that does massively impact your cognitive ability. It also impacts my ability to speak clearly. So this could be an entertaining video for a different reason, and I apologize to Shing Gaming for that. Um, so I'm hoping people are wanting to recommend puzzles. I'm doing a lot of recording in advance. Remember that there is, I think, 1 day left on submitting puzzles for the to win a couple of or win a copy of World of Sudoku Volume 8. It is a great book, and I highly recommend it. If you would like to get a copy of that for free, please enter. And to enter, all you need to do is submit or recommend a puzzle to the channel. And if it's not one of your puzzles, then having permission from the author, if it's not someone I cover frequently, would be good. But we can sort that one out. If it's basically, in order to be eligible, I will do a random selection of the puzzles that are submitted and recommended. If I have permission, I can do the puzzle, and the puzzles that actually, two puzzles that actually get recorded, those are the ones that are going to be the winners. So I will pick randomly, try and record the puzzle. If it works, great. If I can't do it because of permission issues or anything, I will pick someone else. Anyway, let's have a look at Magic 159 by Shing Gaming. So my Discord, as soon as I hit recording, I get a message I cannot ignore on Discord, but I've read it now and I can come back. Magic 159 by Shing Gaming. So we have normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, and I can't even keep my cursor within a box, in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. For box 1, the position of the digits, or for digit n in a cell, there is a 1 in the same place in box n. For example, if we were to place a 9 in the top left corner, then there is a 1 in the same place in box 9. And the reason that is basically a 9 in this box is saying in box 9 you put a 1 in the same place. If there was a 4 here, that would mean in box 4 the 1 would be in the same position as this 4 in box 4, and this is box indexing. At least that's my understanding of box indexing. The same is true in box 5 and in box 9. So it's 159 box indexing. The cage in box 5, and I've just realized there's a typo in the rules, but they're the rules that were sent through. I will possibly fix it. I'm not going to fix it for my rules or for anything else. I just did a copy and paste, but I will try and remember to fix it for the puzzle I put out. With my mind at the moment, I may not. But the cage in box 5 is a magic square, which means each row, column, and diagonal must sum to the same total. And the cells separated by black dots are in a 1-to-2 ratio. One must be double the other, and cells separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Not all dots are necessarily given. They're the rules we've got for the puzzle. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, the obvious place for me to start is box 5, which is a magic square. And explaining magic squares I always find tricky, so this could be interesting. If you know the rules for magic squares, you can probably skip ahead until the bit you know. So, the first thing we need to figure out is what is the total of all the rows, the columns, and the boxes. And we can do that by just looking at the rows. All of the digits from 1 to 9, we know sum to 45, because if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, you end up with 45. So the total of the box is 45. But we've got 3 rows that have to sum to the same total. 45 divided by 3 is 15. So we know that the total is 15. So the next deduction we can make is about the center cell. And I'm going to jump to line drawing. We have a line here that must sum to 15, a line here that sums to 15, a line, that's not it, a line here that sums to 15, and a line here that sums to 15. So those are 4 lines that sum to 15. So we know that all of those cells sum to 60, because 4 times 15 is 60. And what we've got is a single total on these cells and 4 times that cell that must sum to 16. So if we remove one of each of these, we end up with 45 plus 3 times that cell equals 60. So that means 3 times this cell must be the difference between 45 and 60, or 15. 3 times that cell is 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And we can immediately put a 5 into the center of the box. That's useful. Now, I find the best way to think about a magic square, I actually don't have to think about this. Once you know the pattern of a magic square, you can kind of just put them in, but it's good to explain it to people who may have never seen this before. Even though I find this explanation incredibly tricky, is to think about 1. So if you think about putting a 1 somewhere into this box, anything that you put in a corner needs to have, let's do this again. If I put something there, it's got to have 3 different ways of making 15. However, if I put something into a central cell, it only needs 2 ways of making 15. So what you end up with is, let's think about the 1. How do you make 15 with a 1? Well, you need another 14. And there's only 2 ways of making 14 in Sudoku digits. You can use 9, 5, you can use 8, 6, but then you go to 7, 7, which doesn't work. So a 1 can never appear in a corner. It must appear in one of the cells that only has 2 other options. So a 1 will go in one of those. 1, 5 sums to 6, so the other side of the 1 is going to be the 9. So you end up with 1, 5, 9 either horizontally or vertically. Then we can think about the 3. So if we put a 3 into a corner now, remember, I can't remember exactly how to do this. Actually, let's think about the 2. I think it is. I can't remember. It might actually be 3. Is it 3? So 3 with... Yeah, one of these is going to be a 1 and one of these is going to be a 9. Yes, this is the way to do it. So if I put a 3 in the corner now, so let's call this a 3. We know that these are not 1, 9 down here because they will be opposite. So it's either going to go 1, 9 or 1, 9. So one of these has to be 1 or 9. If this is 3, 1 here, this would be 11, which doesn't work. If this is 3, 1 here, this would be 11. If this is 3, 9, those sum to 12, and I'd need another 3. If this is 3, 9, this would be another 3. And this works whichever 3 I would put a corner into, because you always have to have the 1s and 9s opposite. So if I put a 3 here, it's exactly the same here. If I put a 3 here, it's exactly the same here. So now that I've got the 1, 9 locked in, I can never put a 3 in the corner. So I have to put a 3 in one of these. 3 and 5 is 8 and has to be opposed by a 7. And what you end up with is all of the odd digits need to be put vertically and horizontally because it just doesn't work any other way. And what you've got left with is the even digits, 2, 4, 6, and 8. And when you get a magic square, you can immediately, once you know this trick, put a 5 in the middle, the odd digits orthogonally adjacent to it, and the even digits diagonally adjacent to it. So what we know from this is the fives in this puzzle are going to be either in these, the corners of 2, 4, 6, and 8, and they are going to be vertically in 1, 5, 7, 1, 3, 7, and 9. But I'm not sure what that's doing for me yet. Now we know this one can't be a 5 because you cannot put a 5 on a black dot. And there's a couple of ways of thinking about that, but there's no doubling of or halving of 5 within the range of Sudoku digits. Half is 2.5. Double is 10. Doesn't work. So this couldn't be the 4. And this couldn't be the 2 because I couldn't put a 5 there. But I'm not sure how to expand this. There'll be something going on. Now, 1, 3, 7, or 9. 1, 3, 7, or 9. This is 9, this is 5, but that's okay. I feel I would see something a lot faster if I was clearer of head. Now, interestingly enough, I can do, oh, this is going to be extra layers of colouring. I can do odd even colouring on this grid. So those have to be odd, these have to be even, but I can actually get more out of this. Can I use a more striking blue to, maybe. Because what I know is every consecutive digit, every consecutive dot must contain an even digit because you cannot put two odd dots consecutive with each other. And every black dot must contain an even digit because when you double any dot, the thing that's doubled will be even. 1 doubled is 2, 2 doubled is 4, 3 doubled is 6, 4 doubled is 8. So this, first of all, because I've got an even digit down here, these must be odd, but this can only have one even digit on it. So it can only be 1, 2, or 3, 6. It can't be 2, 4 because then I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 even digits, and there's only 4 even digits to play with. And if it was 4, 8, I'd have the same problem. And I've got the same in this row. These must be odd. And this must be from 1, 2, or 3, 6. But you'd look at that and say, well, this has to be 4. But I could put 4 on this. Five is self-indexing, so that's not giving me anything. I know that there's going to be a 5 in one of those and a 5 in one of those. But that's, again, not helping me very much. Well, this, I don't have a 2 in any of those. I know there's a 5 in one of those. A 5 in one of, no, a 5 in one of those. No, it's a 5 in any of those. This is not the way to do this. There's a 5 in one of those. There is an odd digit on this and an odd digit on this. But with an odd on here, that's giving me 4 odds. So I've got to fit 4 evens onto here. So there, hang on. One, No, I've got to fit 3 evens onto here. So there's at least 2 evens here and 1 here. So I can put at most 1 even here. But that makes sense. Hang on, does it? So I could put an odd here. Now I could put all, these could all be odd. No, that doesn't work. There'll be something with the indexing. If this is not 4, because it couldn't be, 4, this can't be 6. Because if this was 6, 6 and 5 would be 11, and that would need to be 4. And if this, there's also, what did I remove? 2. 2 and 5 means this is not 8. So that means 5 is either here or here. And it's either here or here. Hey, this is Brimster. I'm back after actually quite a long break. So I got completely stumped on this puzzle. I could not see a way forward, and I ended up reaching out to a few friends, and one of them found the thing that I was missing. I, I am not too proud to say when I get stuck, and the important thing on this channel is to showcase the puzzles. So here's what I missed. So I'm not sure if the bit I've cut out, because I had a lot of discussion while I was talking about things to find, mentioned that what I was aware of is in these boxes there was going to be an entropy thing going on, particularly in box 5, because of the way that the indexing will work. So if we look at that, then up here I couldn't have 1 and 2 up here. If I had 1 and 2, if 1 was here and 2 was here, that would mean the 1 would here, but the 2 here would mean I'd have to put a 1 here. So there's going to be entropy going on in these boxes. And we know that making up a 15, which is what we need for the magic square, automatically kind of entails entropy, because 4, 5, 6 is the only way to make 15 without automatically putting entropy onto it, because you'll either have a low, a low, a mid, and a high digit to make 15, or 4, 5, 6, which is 3 mid digits. And the 4, 5, 6 is automatically forced onto the diagonal, which prevents the entropy restriction. But what's going on is actually in row 6, we've got a really tight restriction going on, which actually prevents this from being a 6. Because if this is a 6, it knocks 3, 6 out of here, and we end up with 1, 2 being used here. But because of the entropy that is required down here, we need to use a low digit if we don't make 4, 5, 6, and this can't be 4, 5, 6. This would need a 3, and 6 and 3 sums to 9, and we would need another 6. This would be 6, 3, 6, and that doesn't work. So if we put a 6 here, this becomes 1, 2, and this becomes 6, 3, 6, and that's not possible. So this digit here cannot be a 6 without breaking entropy. There's a more complex way of seeing that, but that's the easiest way of seeing it, which is if this is 6, this becomes 1, 2. If this is 6, this becomes 4, and this cell now has to be an 8, and 6 and 8 is too high. That there's multiple ways of doing this, but yeah, the whole thing is just all over the place. This being a 6 is a problem, so this becomes a 2. 2 and 5 is 7, so this becomes the 8. I can take 2 and 8 out of those. Now, this now isn't 1, 2, this is 3, 6, which means there's no 3 here. I can actually think I can resolve this magic square. The 2 here puts the 5 here, the 8 here puts the 5 here, which means those 5s go away, this 5 goes away. Now, 2 here means this can't be a 1, because this would have to be too high. Sorry, I'm coming back to this. Oh, the 3, 6 means this is the 4 and this is the 6. So now we can complete the magic square. 8 and 4 is 12, so this is the 3. I don't know why. It was possibly while I was scrambling to find things. I'm going to turn the pencil mark checker off. 2 and 4 is 6, so this becomes 9. 6 and 2 is 8, so this becomes 7. What's left is 1, which is good because that is 8, 6, and 1 sums to 15. And now we've got 15 in all directions. The 6 here means this is the 5. The 1 here means this is the 5. The 8 here means this is the 5. The 7 here means this is the 5. The 5 is good. The 3 here means this is the 5. The 2 here means this is the 5. The 9 here means this is the 5. And the 4 here means this is the 5. And that gives us all of the 5s in the puzzle. Which is a good start. The 3 here takes 3, 6 out of here, and this becomes the 1, 2. And now we've got triples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9, we need to have an even digit down here. So this is 6, 7. This becomes 9. 9 here means that this has to be a 2 because that's the position of 9 in box 2. 6 and 7, you're not sure. 5 here means this is 4 or 6. 5 here means this is 4 or 6. Now, this can't be 3, 6. So this is 1, 2, 4, or 8. No 2 there. So this is not 1. 1 is in one of those two. So 2 is in one of those two because it's going to point to wherever the 1 is. That means 2 is not down here or down here. So 2 is actually in one of those two. 3 is in one of those two. There's probably something a lot more obvious that I have missed, and that's fine. This is a triple now, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 and neither. These are consecutive. So this is the 7, 8. This becomes the 1. The 1 here means this is a 6, which means this is a 3 and this is a 6. The 6 also looks down, making that the 4. 6 here, yeah, makes that the 1. 7, 8 here means that there's no 8 on this. 4 now is not consecutive with anything there. So this is the 2, which means that's not the 2 and this is the 2. This is... the 1 here means this is the 4. That would have done it. And this is now a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this is not the 3. So this is 6 or 9. If it's 9, that's 6. If it's 6, then that's not... Oh, hang on. I can't put 6 in any of those. That's a 3-9 pair. That is the 6. It was just that trick in row 6 that was stumping me. Although I may still get stumped again. This puzzle has been a little tricky. This 4 looks up making that the 6. Which means 6 in this row can't be here because that's a 1-2 pair, or the 6, 7, and it can't be here. So this is the 6. This is a quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no 7 in either of those. 7 is in one of those two, which lines up with the 6, 7. It's probably something to do with the box indexing, which I'm completely missing. Okay. I've got a lot of 6s. But 6 is in one of those two. Right, but if 6 is here, that would be 9. That doesn't work. This is not the 6. This is the 6. So this is the 9 and this is the 3. Push the right button. Which means 6 is in one of those two. Seven and 8 don't index anything. What are these? These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 7, 8, 9. Now that can't be a 9. Wait, I've broken the puzzle. I've done it again because I've got 9 having to be in one of these. Why do I have 9 having to be in one of those? I did a deduction earlier that forced 9 into one of those. Was that a wrong deduction? I don't even remember what it was. How did I force 9 into one of those? And have I used that? Because I've now got 9 up here, which means one of these has to be 3. How did I force that? I'm assuming badly. Because I've now got 9 down here. I think I've made an absolute horror show of this puzzle. It's possible I'm still completely wrong. What are these triples? These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 8, and 9. So that means 4 is in one of those to put the 1 in one of those, which means that's not the 4. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, there's no 4 there. But 2, 4, and 7 don't index anything. Now the 9 is also down here. So this can't be the 9, or this would have to be a 4. So that's not the 9, and 4 is in one of those two. Maybe I've just got the indexing wrong. Because wherever the 9 is here is pointing to the 4 down here, right? Because if this is a 4, this is a 9. Can't put 8 in either of those because then I'd have to put 9s there. So those are not 8s. Can I put 1 there? That'd put 9 up here. I am really confused. I've lost the plot again. So 2 is in one of these two. Because I can't put it up here because of the 1, 2. So 1 is down here somewhere, which means 8. Well, it's not here because if it was here, this would be 8. So 8 is in one of those two, which means this is not 8. So if this was 2, this would be 3. Could these be 7, 8 is the question. I don't see what... Oh, no, because 7 is up here. So these can't be 7, 8. So the only possibilities here are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But these can't be... There's no 7 on here, so I can't put 8 on here. This is 2, 3, 4. So it must contain a 3 because it has to contain an odd digit. So there's no 3 in any of those. 3 is now over here. So this is from... There's no 2 here, but there must be a 3 on here. There's no 4 here. This is the 3. So this is not the 3. This is 2 or 4. This is really breaking my brain. There's probably a key box indexing thing that I don't understand. Like I know one of those has to... Hang on. No, hang on. I can't put... Oh, hang on. If I put 1 and... This is a 2, so this is a 9. But these can be 1 because I can put the 9 up there. But I couldn't make that... Right, so it's... Oh, this is weird. So the entropy thing was true here. It's definitely true in this box because of the 15 rule. It's not true in columns, but it is true in rows. Because I've got the 9 there and I've got the 9 there. So this has to be from 7, 8, 9 because it's going to put a 9 down here. But it can't be 7. So this is an 8 or a 9, putting the 9 in one of those two. This is weird. And this is 3, 7, 8 or 9. Because I can't put the 9 in 4, 5. This is very strange. Oh, there's a 4 pointing in here. Because the 9 has to be over here. So this is 2. Which puts 2 up here. I am really struggling with this. So I need a low digit and a high digit here. And I need a low and a high digit here. So it's 1 or 3 here. The 1 would be self-indexing. The 3 would put the 1 in one of those two, which is fine. And the high digit would put the 1... 7 would put it there. I can't be 8 and it can't be 9. So there's an 8, 7 in one of those two because I can't put a 1 in either of those two. So the high digit that has to go in here can't be, because as I said, if I do 2 mediums, I'm putting 2 1s in this row. If I do 2 lows, I'm putting 2 1s in this row. So one of them has to be high. But these map to those cells and those cells, which can't be 1. So there has to be a 7 in here, which means this is not the 7. This is the 7. And there is a 1 in one of those two, which I knew from Sudoku. There's no 7 here. So these are from 1 to 1, 3, 7 only. I'm not understanding this puzzle. I don't think the odd even colouring is helping me anymore. Though I could be wrong. One, 4, 8, 9. So there's a 9 in one of those. So there's an 8 in one of those. But I kind of already knew that. The 1 in here is in one of those, but it can't be there because that would be a 1. So it's in one of those 3. So the 3 is in one of those. That's not... Have I missed a simple index somewhere? Like this cell. No, that's not it, because it can't be 1, 2. It can be 3. Can't be 4. Can't be 5. Can't be 6. Could be 7 or 8. Can it be 9? Maybe it can even be 9. That's not... This is from 1348. In fact... But that doesn't... This is an 8 or a 9 only. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8 or 9 only, giving me an 8, 9 pair in the row. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are only from 1, 6, 7, and that's not a 6. So if this is an 8, that's a 9. If that's a 9, that's an 8, which is all fine. I really am an idiot. I'm not going to record a puzzle for a while after this. This has just made me feel like I'm an absolute idiot. That's assuming I can even finish this. I've got all the dots. I've got the magic square, so it's purely down to indexing. So there'd be something that causes an indexing to collapse. If this is 1, this is 7, or this is 7. So I can't put a 7 there. So 7 is in one of those two. If this is 1, but this could be 6. This only being 1 or 7 is what gave it the freedom to take 7 out of there. I've got all the 5, so it's 1s and 9s. So where can 9s go? I've got 3 9s. I've only got 2 1s. So where can 9s go? Nines can only go in those ones. Those two. Wait a minute. Oh, no, that's not true. Wait, are 9's truly locked into there? Yes, because 3's are locked into there. 9's are locked into there because 3's are locked into there. Why are 3's locked into there? Why can't I put 3 there and 9 there? Why did I do... Oh. Was that a mistake? Because if... Oh, but that can't be a 9. Because... Why is 3 locked into there? Why can't that be a 3 and that be a 9? Oh, because 9 is not in any of that column and it's not there because of that one. 9 is locked into there. 3 is locked into there. Because 9 is locked into there, that is 8. That is 9. There is no 8 in either of those. No, there's no 8 in either of those. That 9 takes 9 out of those. That was the smallest possible thing. So 9 is absolutely in those two and those two. Give them a really bright green. 9 is now in those two. From what I can tell, it's in any of those and any of those. Except it can't be there because 9 is there. So basically they're disjoint on 9s. That can't be a 1, so that's not a 9. That can't be a 1, so that's not a 9. Any of those can be 7. Either of those can be 3. So 1, 3, 4, 7, 9, which is what's missing. So 1s are in those. 3s are in those. 4s are in those. 7s are in those. And 9 is in those. That's all fine. I think. I mean, there's no 9 there. Can't put 1 in either of those. Because that would put 9 here, which I can't do for some reason. I don't even know why I can't put 9 there. Because I can't put 1 there because of that 1. So this is from 3, 4, 7, 9. It can't be 9 because of the 9 up there. So this is from 3, 4, 7. This is from 3, 4, 9. This is from 3, 7, 9. This is 1, 4, 8. Which tells me that there's an 8 in one of those two, which I had. So do I need to do this with 1s? This puzzle has already needed 6 solvers, 45 minutes in the gap that you didn't see, and now I'm completely stuck again. 3-star, low 3-star on Logic Masters Germany. The difficulty ratings on that site are basically meaning if you are not someone who's been solving Sudoku for more than 2.5 years, do not use the site. Just don't. They don't want you there. So 2 is in one of those because 1 is in one of those. So this is not a 2. Okay. But that's done. And this is not a 2. Just going to turn the pencil mark checker back on, but I don't think it's going to show me anything. Okay, that's not a 4 because of the 4 looking up. Okay, so 4 is in one of those two, which means this is not a 1. Okay, fine. The 4 looking up meaning, right, and this becomes the 9, and that'll break it open, because that being a 9 means that's a 4, and this is not a 4. This is not a 4. So 9 is not there anymore because I've got the 9 in this box. So this is not a 4. So the 9 is either, if this is a 3, hang on. If this is a 3, that's a 9, and it can't be. So that's the 9, this is the 3, and this is the 7. I think that's correct. This is 1, 7, 1, 7, or 9, and that's not the 9 because of the 9 looking at it, which is fine. I'm going to get rid of the green now. Now, this isn't 1, isn't it? Because that can't be 9. Well, actually, 9 is in one of those two. So this is a 4-9 pair. So there's no 2 there, and this is a 4-9 pair, which means the 1 is here and here. This is not a 1 anymore. This can't be a 1 because they can't put 2 there. So this is the 2, this is the 1, which means this is the 2. It's the disjoint on those that was probably the trick. The disjoint on 1, 5, 7, and 9, 1, 5, and 9 that I probably missed. So these are 3, 4, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, but this can't be 3 or 4 because of 3, 4 looking at it. This is the 8, which means that's not 8, and I can take 8 out of both of those. But the 8 here looks down here, making that the 1, which makes that the 8, and that the 4. The 8 looks up, making that 3, which makes that 4 and that 8. The 4 looks across, making that 3. I can take 3, 8 out of there. This becomes the 1. This becomes the 4. This box now just needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This just needs an 8. 1 comes out of there. This becomes a 3, 7 pair, and this becomes the self-referencing 1. This becomes a 2 or a 7. Okay, the 8 looks down, making this 7 and this 8. This means this the 1, which means this becomes the 9 and this becomes the 4. This is not the 1. This is the 7 and the 9, which means the 9 has to exist in one of those, depending on which one of these is the 7. This now has a 4 looking at it from there. So this becomes the 7, this becomes the 3, this becomes the 7, this becomes the 2, this becomes the 4. The 2 looks down, making this the 7, which jumps over, making this the 9, and this the 7. The 7 jumps back, making that the 9. And now I should have all the indexing done. This 7 makes this 1, which matches up for that being 7. This is not 1 or 7. This is the 6. This is the 7. This is the 6. The 1 looks up, making this the 8 and the 1. Where I was stuck was that 4, knocking the 4 out of there, making the 1 have to go into those two, giving me the offset pair. 1, this has to be the 2. The 3 goes there, and then this has to be the 8, and that is the correct solution to the puzzle, which has had 150 minutes of people looking at it. Yeah, I don't know what it was about that. I've done a lot of indexing puzzles, but this one just broke me. Now, in the early this morning, I was definitely on a lot of migraine medication, and I'm still on painkillers, but I'm not on the same level of migraine medication. That one just broke me. I hope everyone else had a better time with that one than I did. I'm not saying the puzzle is bad. I'm just saying that I think the difficulty rating I got from LMD was way off, and I'm thinking maybe not. Maybe it is maybe it is an easy 3, and I'm just having a bad day. But I definitely found that one very, very challenging. Hopefully you didn't. I've got a bunch of easier puzzles coming up. I've got a different puzzle coming tomorrow, and then I'm going to start another set of the Hamilton Sudoku series. So hopefully that will be something for people looking for things a little bit easier to look forward to. Thank you everyone for watching. Yeah, never know what you're going to get when you jump in. Thanks everyone. Thanks Shing Gaming, and as always, good luck with your solving.